Okay. ওকে, আপনি আমার স্ক্রিন দেখতে পাচ্ছেন?
জি মামা।
ওকে। আমি শুনেন, ওই জিনিসগুলা আপনার কাছে ইনিশিয়ালি একটু কমপ্লিকেটেড মনে হইতে পারে, বাট ইভেনচুয়ালি ইট ইজ নট। সো জাস্ট বেয়ার উইথ মি, লেট মি এক্সপ্লেন টু ইউ অল দিস, and then I'll give you the script. You're gonna do a little bit practice, and then probably tomorrow we're gonna talk probably a little bit about it, review kind of thing. Then it will be much clearer to you. Make sense?
জি মামা, ওকে।
ওকে, ওকে। সো আপনি জিনিসটা এভাবে চিন্তা করেন, টেবিল এন্ড ভিউ। ওকে, টেবিল হলো, মনে করেন একটা ওয়্যার হাউস থাকে না, মনে করেন আপনি অনলাইনে আমরা শপিং করি, সো দিস পিপল ফিজিক্যালি হ্যাজ সামথিং, রাইট? মনে করেন আমি বই কিনবো, হ্যাজ সামওয়্যার ফিজিক্যালি সিটিং, দ্য বুক ইজ দেয়ার। এখন এটা হলো টেবিল। আবার ভিউটা হইলো যারা ব্রোকার থাকে। ব্রোকার কি, মনে করেন দে ডোন্ট হ্যাভ দ্য থিংস বাট দে নো হোয়ার টু গেট ইট ফ্রম, তাই না? ব্রোকার। সো এরকম ভিউটা অনেকটা এরকম, ভিউটা ক্রিয়েট করা হয় অরিজিনালি যেখানে ডাটা থাকে ওখান থেকে, একটা কোয়েরির মাধ্যমে। এই যে একটা কোয়েরি আছে, রাইট? Whatever the output of this query, whatever you can put anything, like say, remember we did join, we did union, all these things we did, right? So where clause, anything we do, we just kind of put a query here. So whatever the output of this data, based on that output is going to create a view. That's all it does. Okay, now that view and table acts exactly the same thing. There is basically no difference. Like from the user point of view, from me, let's say I'm a user, I'm buying something from online. Now amazon.com থেকে আমি অর্ডার দিলাম, আমি অর্ডার দিছি amazon.com থেকে, but I don't care where he get it from and how you get it from. I just need by 2 days. That's all I care, right? So it's like this view and table. Actually, there is no difference from the user point of view. They can use the same way. But behind the scene, table consists the data, but view do not consist the data. It's just know where the data is and is going to give you the data. এখন মনে করেন তাহলে ভিউটা কেন করা হয়? Why I need the view, right? Very simple. If they are the same thing, use the same thing, then why? এখন আপনি জিনিসটা চিন্তা করেন, আমার এই যে টেবিলটা আছে, টেবিলে আমার আছে কয়টা? একটা, দুইটা, তিনটা, চারটা, পাঁচটা, ছয়টা কলাম, সাতটা কলাম আছে। মনে করেন আরেক একটা সাতটা কলাম আছে। মনে করেন আমি এই ফোন নাম্বারটা আমি চাই না আপনি দেখেন। I don't want you to see this phone number. How can I block you if I give you the permission to see this table? Okay, let's say I'm giving you the permission to see this table. You can see everything. But my purpose, I want to block you from this phone number. How can I do it? I cannot do this from here, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a view. This is what I'll do. Let me show you what I'll do. So I want to block you from the phone number. So I will do this. I'll create ID and then first name, last name, and then I'll do address. Let's say I don't want address either. I don't want you to know the address. Let's say I want you to know only ID, first name, last name, and then the email ID. Okay. So let me see what is the output of this. Okay. So if I create a view based on this query, I'm creating a view. Oops.
মামা,
হ্যাঁ।
স্ক্রিন আমার সাইটে ফ্রিজ হয়ে গেছে আই থিঙ্ক।
ও, তাহলে আপনি এক কাজ করেন, ক্যান্সেল করে আবার জয়েন করেন।
ওকে।
আচ্ছা, ওকে। তো বেসিক্যালি আপনি যদি জিনিসটা লজিক্যালি চিন্তা করেন, ভিউটা কিভাবে তৈরি করা হয়, ভিউটা একটা query থেকে whatever I put inside this query, whatever the data it will come up, that will be included in the view, right? So like I said, if I want to like don't if I don't want to display something, not display, like say if there is a user group, put it this way, in a bank, right? Manager has a lot of access to a customer, but the teller, they don't have a lot of access, right? If I go to a teller, probably they can see my name, phone number, and balance. But manager can see my home address also and phone number also, right? So two different group of people. How do I do that? Block it. So I have to create two different table, right? For one for the teller, one for the manager. But that's like table means what? Physical data. So that will take a lot of space, like because there's a millions of record like that. So we can use one table and create multiple view from that table and use it from different group of people. One can be executive, like say HR. If I'm an intern, I join a company as an intern. They are not going to let me see all the information of the employee. HR can see all the information for the employee, how much they make, where they live, when their next vacation is, everything. HR manager. But I'm an intern. If I go and join the company, they are not going to let me see everything, right? Social security number, date of birth, everything. So how they going to block me? So this is here you go. For security reason, if you want to create a sample data from the main data for different group of people, you can create view, and they use like one source. So you don't need multiple source, I mean multiple physical storage. If let's say you have an employee, all the record is storing like 1 GB record data, and then if you create another table, another gigabyte, another table, another gigabyte, is a lot of space is taking. So what you can do, instead one table you have, from there you can create multiple table, which is like view, and then use it. It's not going to take any space. It's just going to, and security wise is good because you can block it, display whatever you want to do, right? Make sense for me?
Oh, so it doesn't take any space either. View কোনো space নেয় না.
No. Pura space. Like I said, it doesn't take any space because it's not creating data set for something, just creating a like a location where the data is. Whatever you see this, it knows, this knows where the data is. So it's going to just get the data. That's it for you.
Okay, so it is displaying the information that we want to give permission to certain group of users from the specific table. Only those information that we, so it's a view. They are seeing from that table, but maybe not all the columns. Whatever we want to show them. That's
right.
it.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't worry, mommy. Like I said, I'll review it tomorrow again, so that it will be more clearer. Okay. It's not complicated. It's just the first time is complicated. That's the reason. So not to worry. Okay, we'll review it. So that that view. Okay, that's called view. Now
Okay.
there is another thing is called materialized view. See, one is view, right? We did materialized view. Now the difference view and materialized view, that create physical data. Okay, this one you can create physical data. So sometimes you need physical data. Let's say you wanna copy. Let's say a big corporation, right? They one corporation own another corporation. So one company, I mean, own another company. Let's say from one company you wanna give certain data to other company. In a table you have like say 2 million records, but you want to give only 2000 records. How do you do that? Physical record, physical data you have to give them. In that case, you can create a view from the table that consists data, physical data. So materialized view actually has the data. It creates the data itself. So how I create, before I said just a view, I didn't say materialized view. Now I'm saying materialized view, and then same thing like query. Same way I can do it. I can do it from a table, I can do it from a view, not a problem. So I can do this. Okay, so this is materialized view created, so I can query from here. I can query from here, same thing. Now materialized view has data, so physical data. So now I can copy and paste and give this file to somebody else if I want. Now why they do that? Like I said, it creates a set of data, physical record that can be transferred to somewhere else. Or also you can save it as a backup. You can encrypt the data, you can zip the data and save it also. So this is one thing. Another important thing is, let's say I create a view. I can delete a record from the table, from the source. From this view is created from here, from this table, right? From this table.
Yes.
I can update the record. I can edit the record. I can delete the record. Anything in this table using this view. Using this view. This is my view, right? So if I delete a record, if I delete a record from here, is going to delete a record actually from here. Okay.
Oh.
But in materialized view, if you want to delete, this is the materialized view I just created. If you delete something from here, it will not be deleted from the source. You cannot delete it actually. It will not be deleted from the source. Okay, so it's like a create a separate set of data that has nothing to do. Once you create it, that's it. Nothing to do with the original one. Okay, there's a security reason also. So create a subset of data from the original subset of data. It's like a different option, right? So whatever you want to do, whatever you based on your need, you can use it. So it's like an option. Table has a physical data, and the view doesn't have physical data. You can customize. And another thing is, from the view, this is one table, right? This is one table. This is one table. So you are creating view from this one table, but you can join with multiple table and create a set of data and create this view. Sometimes one view can be created from, like, say, 10 different table. Okay, so this is to make it something simplify. We create also view. I mean, that makes sense what I just said, that you can create, because this is a query, right? You can write a query by joining multiple table, right? Any query, any valid query. So you can join like 3 table and create a view, and then you have a set of data. Same thing with materialized view. Make sense, Mami?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. A sequence. What is this? Is another object. We are talking about object of the database, like object of the house, as I told you before, right? Like, say, sofa, say, rice cooker, dining table, all these things, right? Same thing for database. Sequence is an object. All it does is generate a unique number for you sequentially. Unique number. Let's see what that means. জিনিসটা এভাবে চিন্তা করেন, আপনি মনে করেন আমাদের যে সোশ্যাল সিকিউরিটি নাম্বার আছে, ড্রাইভিং লাইসেন্স আছে, নাম্বার গাড়ির লাইসেন্স প্লেট, those number are unique, right? It's not duplicate. No, never will be duplicate. How that possible? How somebody can remember this? Nobody can remember it, right? So there should be a way, like, say, plane ticket, bus ticket, all the ID number, ticket number is unique. How that possible? Because there is an object in database called sequence that create unique id and can be used in the database. Let's say the creating is very simple. Creating a sequence. Now what is the minimum value? Means starting value. Maximum value, what is the maximum value do you want? And then start with the initial value, start with whatever, and then increment like 1 2 3, or you want, how do you want it basically. So I can do this. I'm creating this. So it's created. Now remember here in this table I created manually. See this ID? This is the sequence ID 1 2 3. I manually created. Now if I by mistake, let's say by mistake I put this 5 twice. Let's put it this way. Okay.
মামা
হ্যাঁ
মামা আমাকে গিয়ে 5টা মিনিট দিবেন, আমার মা ডাক্তারের কাছে গেছিলেন, মেবি উনি কিছু এক্সপ্লেইন করতে পারতেছেন না, আমার কল দিতেছেন।
হ্যাঁ sure, no problem. হ্যাঁ
থ্যাংক ইউ মামা। 5টা মিনিট।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ okay. Okay. আচ্ছা, I mean, like I said again, don't worry about this understanding completely because I'm going to review it tomorrow again. Okay, so then you'll realize it. Uh, so sequence is another object. We use it for what? To create unique value. Okay, unique and sequential value. Let's say for an example.
Okay.
For an example.
স্ক্রিনটা আমার সাথে
Oh, sorry.
আপনার স্ক্রিন
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ সরি সরি ওকে এখন দেখতে পাচ্ছেন
এখন ঠিক আছে
ওকে তো আমার সেকেন্ড okay I think I have to put oh it's not created yet that's why no it's not created yet so it should be fine okay so if I create the sequence creating the sequence okay now let's say I'm using it okay এইখানে যে আপনি দেখছিলেন না এই যে আমরা আইডিটা ঢুকাইছিলাম 1 2 3 4 5 মনে করেন বাই মিস্টেক করে আমি 5 দিলাম দুইবার let's say for example right I'm inserting the data okay and then I'm querying it from there okay so now as you can see sequence ID I have twice the same thing right that's a big mistake I cannot do that like say two social security number two ID number it cannot happen so in that case what we do is we use sequence number automatically I don't have to put see here I'm manually putting the number right now instead of the manually putting the number if I create a sequence instead of the manually number I can tell the computer to automatically put the sequence number okay let's say let me see what I have right now see I have 5 right here now I'm inserting data here okay not enough values why okay so sequence last name first name okay second one second okay so here I'm inserting I'm querying it from here so I have this okay fine and then let me I'm inserting another record as you can see I'm just inserting record this is my sequence this is the last name this is first name okay so if I insert what I get see I have sequence because I use it before so see I have 21 and then this is the record that I just insert right this is the record let's say I insert again second so now I have 21 next one will be 22 look see 22 I'm doing it again next one will be 23 see so it is automatically inserting the number I don't have to do it manually it remembers everything okay so sequence that's all it does that's the purpose is creating a sequence number that's all okay mommy
okay ma'am
okay now another concept is called constraint constraint mean condition it's nothing but condition meaning what meaning you are telling the system okay whenever you do things make sure you follow these rules so it's like condition rules let's say I want to a school and I want to register for a class so I went to the admission of I mean a registration office I say okay I want to take this class bio 101 and whenever they enter me for this class I have to be a first student there right nobody can just walk from the street and find out okay here you go so I can tell the system okay make sure this student already like exist in that table or make sure he is there something like that whatever condition I'm gonna put okay let's say I'm inserting the data in a table I can tell the computer make sure this is like the ID cannot be null you must have to put like we sometimes we fill out a form online right and there is a like a red mark asterisk mark, it says what that means. You must put some data in there, right? Mandatory. So this is constant. Like those field must be filled. Those like option. It's not an option. I mean. So constant is like giving a condition, giving some rules to make sure that the database follow. Let's say here is the thing. Let's say I'm creating this table. I'm creating this table with some constant. What is constant? See here I put check. This is called a constant. There are different kinds of constant like check constant, null constant, not null constant, different type. So check. I'm saying here this is what this means. This line means for the state. For the state, I am saying check. I'm telling the computer to check. Check what? That state only in this state. So here, if I put, let's say I have B, I'm inserting the data, right? Do I have B here? Yes. Then I should be fine. Let's say I insert the record here. Okay, I'm inserting. I'm inserting. Okay, hold on one second. See here, it says one row inserted. Now I'm putting, let's say I'm putting Arizona, AZ. Do I have Arizona here? Do I have? No. So it should fail. Let me show you. It should fail. See, do not insert values that violate the constant. So it's not letting me do it. So this is called check constant, meaning that it is checking whenever I enter the data, is checking if it is valid or not. Those are the constant. Now let's say another thing. Let's say I'm dropping this table first. Let's say I'm inserting the data here. Look this one. Okay, so I'm inserting where I'm just doing first name and state. There's the two things I'm doing, right? So I'm inserting into book. Table or view does not exist. Oops. Okay, hold on. So I'm creating it. Now let me see if I have data in there. Nothing coming out, right? So I'm putting one data here. Okay, inserted. And let me query now. See, I have what I have. I have only first name and I have state. Everything is null. See, null. The ID is also null. See, ID is also null, right? It's null, right? Now, how come ID can be null? Let's say for theoretically, right? I don't want people to empty the ID. I want must to fill out ID. How do I do that? So this is how I do it. So I'm creating the table again. I'm putting here ID. I'm putting not null. I'm saying it cannot be null. Right? Not null means it cannot be null. So now I'm creating the table again with this constant. This is a constant, not null, meaning ID cannot be null. See, I just show you, I insert the record with null. ID is null, right? Now let me do it again. Insert the record. It's not going to let me do it. See, cannot do it. So now let me put an ID here. Right? So I'm putting one. Okay, for example. Now, if I do that, missing what? Missing select keyword. Oops, sorry. So I'm putting ID. So here I have to put the value. So I'm putting one, right? So now let's see. Now I'm putting the value. See, now one row inserted. If I query, see, I have ID. So basically here what I'm saying that ID cannot be null. You cannot leave it empty. So that's a constant. Here what I'm saying state, make sure it's only in this 5 state. That's a constant. So constant means it's like certain rules for a column. Whenever we enter the data, it can check it for us. That's all it that constant. Make sense for me?
Okay. Mm.
Okay. Now synonym. Synonym is like a nickname. Synonym is nothing but a duplicate name, alternate name. So whenever, for us as a person, most of us has a duplicate name, right? I mean, like nickname. So we can, instead of calling us the full name, we can call it a different name, right? That's the nickname. So pseudonym is the same thing. We can, if we have a name like really big or hard to remember, or it's a type, we have to type, right? Big thing. Then what do we do? Make it a shorter, or make it something that makes sense. Or sometimes, we don't want them to know the real name, security reason. So pseudonym does that. They change the name. So see address book, I have select all from address book. I have to type the whole thing, right? Address book. So if I do this, select all from address book, see I see the data, right? Let me put some real data in there. Sorry. Okay. So if I query from this one, see I see the data, right? I have everything. Okay. Now see this address book is too big for me. Let's say, for example, it's too big for me. I want to make it and give it a different name. So I put here create synonym. This thing replace means if it's already exist, delete it and create it again. That's all it does. Okay. So I'm creating a synonym. What I put name SYN AB. AB mean address book. AB address book. Just I'm giving a name. For what? I'm changing the name for what? For this one. For address book. So I'm doing this. Okay, so it says it's been created. Fine. Now I'm going to query from here. See if I query from here, what I get? All this data. This one, right? If I query from this, what I get? Same thing. Because basically this thing and this thing is the same thing, isn't it? It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I just changed the name, right? Synonym. So I just create a synonym. Let me go there. See this synonym? You will see that synonym. It should be seen in here. 1 second. Why I don't see it here? I don't know. It should be there. 1 second. SYN. I don't know why I don't see it here. Probably for some reason, but it should be here. Basically, any synonym. Okay.
ও আপনি যেটা এখন করছেন এটার কথা বলতেছেন?
Yes, yes. See, we create a sequence. Remember sequence ID we created here? Where is
এটা
it?
কি রিফ্রেশ করতে time you create something?
See, we created this sequence ID. Sequence ID. If we go under, this is all object, right? Database object. If we go sequence, we'll see that. See? Sequence ID
Yeah.
here. Now we created.
Mama,
Yeah, remember we create a view VAV is there right there. See, we create a view is there. So index sequence.
No, আমি যেটা আপনাকে বলতেছি, every time we create something, do we have to refresh the page to see it?
Yeah, because for object, yes. So actually I was looking the wrong place. Here it should be under public synonym. Now I create a public synonym, right? I create a public synonym. So it should be here SYN, right? Hold on. It's looking the wrong place actually.
Okay.
See here, we create this one, right? SYNAV. See here. See SYNAV, right? So object is there. So this is basically all I did is database object, right? Whatever I create is here, right? So that's all. So index, what is index? Index is very simple, as we know our daily life. Index is for organizing thing to get something faster. To get something faster, we organize thing, right? Index does the same thing. It's indexing behind the scene in indexing the table so that we can get the data faster. Some table has millions of, remember text file, millions of people does it, right? In IRS, so there has millions of record. So driving license, millions of people ID, right? So if they are not indexing, when you go to the line at DMB, they're going to search our name for like probably 10-15 minutes in the computer. So the index meaning whenever we retrieve something, it will be faster. So we do this. We are creating an index, let's say first name, because we create the index basically based on the column that we search by. Okay, if you go to doctor's office, what they do, what is your date of birth, right? What's your phone number, what is your last name, things like that they ask, because those are index, because this is what they use to get my record, right? So this is index. Let's say I'm creating an index. Okay, this index is created. So here I can see the index name from this table. This is a system table, we don't create it, Oracle automatically does it. So I create this index on this table, right? On this table, on this column, right? So here I can see this. See, I can create an index. See here, my index name is what? INDAV. See, index name INDAV. Now I'm creating another index. Another index. What is the name? INDAV last name. So let me see. See, INDAV last name. Okay. So this is basically I'm saying to create an index. To create an index, what table and what column, what table and what column, and I can see how many index I have for each table. See, I said table name is equal to this. Okay, without this clause, see, it's going to give me all the index that this table has, everything here. Okay, so that's all the object. We have few more object, which is we have user and role, which we will look later, but this is very important. Okay, very important for conceptually to understand the database, to work with database, things like that. Now another thing I just want to mention, let's see, I have in one table, in one database, I have multiple schema, right? Multiple schema. Let's say I have a table called address book. And in this schema, sys, I have the same table in HR schema. I have the same table in access schema. Then how the database know which schema to look for? So in theoretically, when you will work, you will always put the schema name first, like say this, like this. Here is a different, it's not linked, but in general, you're going to do this. Schema name and then the table name, always at work. Okay. But here I'm just putting the table name, but in, like I said, in general, schema name, but the table name. Make sense?
Okay.
Okay. So basically, that's all, Mami. That's the object.